Hello everyone, welcome back. Let's continue from where we left off in the previous video. So previously we looked at step 1 to 20, and in this one we are going to start from 21 and work our way all the way to 24. So once again, this is what we are building, this lovely looking penguin here. So let's get back to work. So the next thing we want to do is for step 21, we want to set the position property of the back mountain to prevent it from taking up space in the page layout. So as you can see, there's the back mountain, and currently it's taking up space, making this look weird. So we can fix that by setting the position to absolute. Okay, now it's hiding behind the other elements nicely and smoothly like that. Now, let's change the stack level of the back mountain such that it is directly behind the left mountain. Okay, so if you remember, the left mountain, we gave it a z index of 2. So if we want the back mountain to be behind it, then we have to give it a z index of 1, like so. Okay, now let's rotate the back mountain element by 45 degrees, because as you can see, the back mountain is rotated to make it look like a mountain. But currently this is not looking anywhere close to a mountain. So we're going to say transform, and let's say rotate. Let's give it a value of 45 degrees for the rotate function. All right, now it's rotated nicely. Then let's give it a left property of 110 pixels. We shall also give it, we shall also give it a top property of 225 pixels. Okay, now it is positioned nicely, just as we have it in our final work. All right. Now for 24, to finish the background, we want to add a sun. Okay, as you can see, we have a sun, bright yellow sun here. So the way we're going to do that is to add a new div here after the back mountain element. And this new div is going to have a class attribute whose value is going to be sun. Now, after adding the div element for the sun, let's target it by saying .sun. Let's first give it a width with a value of 200 pixels. Let's also give it a height with a value of 200 pixels as well. And then we'll give it a background color with a value of yellow. Okay, now as you can see, we have our sun here, but there's still some work to be done, so let's continue working on it. The first thing we want to do is we want to set the position property of the sun to prevent it from taking up space in the page layout. So let's say position absolute, and then we also want to give it a border radius, because right now at the moment is square. If you can see, let me give it a z index of 99. As you can see, it's a square. So let me clean the z index. We want to make it look like a circle, so let's give it a border radius. Let's give it 50%. Okay, as you can see, it looks like a circle now. All right, now we want to also give it, position the sun in such a way that the top corner of the screen, such that 75 pixels of it, position the sun in the top right corner of the screen such that 75% of its top and right edges are off the screen. So we want the sun to be positioned at the top right corner like this, and we are told to give it a top property. Let's give it minus 75 pixels. because it says such that 75 pixels of its top and right edges are off the screen. Okay, we also want to give it a right value with a negative 75 pixels. All right, now our sun is correctly positioned. Moving on, we want to start creating our lovely penguin right here. So let's begin by creating two divs. One will be for the head, penguin head, and one will be for the penguin body. So we'll say head class penguin head, like so. I'll repeat it, just copy and paste it like so, and then I would use this one for penguin body. All right, now we want to change the stack level of the penguin element such that it appears in front of the ground element. So let's give it a z index of 1. Let's also give it a position property of relative. Oh wait, sorry. So the ground has a z index of 3. Okay, as you can see here, the ground has a z index of 3. So if we want to position the penguin element such that it appears in front of the ground element, we have to give it a value that is higher than 3. So in this case 4. Yeah. All right, so now we want to target the penguin head element. So we say penguin head, and then what we want to do with the penguin head element is that we want to give it a width that takes half of its parent size. So we'll say 50%. Let's give it a height of 45%. Then let's set the background. The background is going to be a linear gradient whose value is going to be 45 degrees, and then it will start at gray, and then it will end at this color right here. So I'll just copy this RGB color value and paste it here. Okay, so we have our penguin head. It's looking like a square, so we'll work on it, don't worry. All right, so yeah, like I was saying, most penguins do not have a square head, obviously. So we want to give the penguin a slightly overhead by setting the radius of the top corners to 70% and then the radius of the bottom corners to 65%. Okay, so let's say border radius, and we'll give it 4 values. The first is for the top left, so it's a clockwise direction. Top left, top right, bottom right, and then bottom left. So the first value is going to be 70% for top left, another 70% for top right, then let's do 60% for 65% for the bottom right, and then 65% for the bottom left. Okay, so moving on, now we want to work on the penguin body. So let's target it, penguin dash body. Let's give it a width of 53%. Let's give it a height of 45%. Then for the background, we want to set it as a linear gradient. Okay, and it's going to have a value of 45 degrees. Then the first color, this is going to have 3 colors. So the first color is going to be this right here, which will start at 0%. So write 0% like so. The second color will be this right here, and this is going to start at 25%. So let's write 25% like so. And then finally we'll have white. and white is going to start at 67%. Okay. Now we also have another issue, how the body of our penguin is a box, which looks so unnatural. So let's get to work on it. Another interesting fact about penguins is that they do not have square bodies, obviously. So use the border radius property with the value of this right here. So let me just copy. So 80, 80, 100, 100. So that means the top left will have an 80% border radius. This will also have 80% border radius. And then the bottom values will have, the bottom edges, sorry, will have a value of 100% border radius. So I'll say border radius like so, and then paste it like so. All right, there you go. We have our penguin body, nice and smooth. All right, now let's move on to step 34, where we want to target all descendant elements of the penguin element. So back to our HTML, we have our penguin element here. We want to target everything that is in here. So the way we're going to do that is to say dot penguin to select the penguin, and then we bring a space, and then to select everything we use the star selector. Okay, so this is going to tell our browser that go into our penguin element and select everything that is in it. Okay, now once we select everything that is in, we want to give it a position of absolute, like so. Okay, there you go. All right, so next up, we want to position the penguin head element 10% from the top. So let's give it a top value of 10%, and also 25% from the left of its parent. So a left value of 25%. Great. Now let's work on the body as well. So for the body, we want to move it 40% from the top. So 40% like so, and then want to move it 23.5% from the left. Okay. Now, what do we do next? We want to change the stack level of the penguin head such that it appears in front of the penguin body, because as you can see right now, the head is appearing behind the body or at the back of the body. So let's give it a z index. Give the head a z index of 1, and as you can see, it now appears nicely on top or in front of the body. To give the penguin body a crest, create a pseudo element that is the first child of the penguin property. So as you can see, our penguin has a crest. Okay, I love CSS. So what we're going to do is we're going to say dot penguin body. Okay, so we want to create a pseudo element, and that pseudo element is going to be the first child. So what we're going to use is the pseudo selector called before. Okay, so whatever content that we create in this before is going to be the first child of that element. So we're going to say content, and for now we are told to set that as an empty string like so. But assuming I should write hello, you can see the hello appears. You can see the H here. All right, let's move on. Now let's set it to back to an empty string and continue. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is we are going to position the pseudo element relative to its closest ancestor. So we just have to do position and just say absolute. Now finally, in this video, for step 40, we want to give the pseudo element a width that is half of its parent. So we say we say width, the value is going to be half, so 50%. And let's also give it a height of 45%. and then let's give it a background color that will have a value of gray. Okay, so as you can see now, our pseudo element is here with us. Okay, so I am going to end this video here. We have looked at 1 to 20 in the previous video, and in this one we looked at 20 to 40. So we are making a great deal of progress. Once again, this is what we are trying to build, and let me see you in the next one, where we are going to continue from step 41 all the way to step 60. Okay, bye bye.